Good morning, Zio here, and today is that day again. It is Sunday. It's time for our Gaming Sunday Roundup. Roundup Sunday Gaming? Yeah. So I totally forgot the name of the video. What we do every single Sunday. I am so sorry. I need a vacation, a very long vacation after this whole thing ends. I seriously need to take one and just get away from everything, every person, every people, all of it. But today is not that day. So we'll just do what we've been doing. So let's get into it, shall we? Now, go get yourself some coffee. Sit back, relax. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so now. The larger we can build this army, the happier I will be, and the sooner I can enact my plans for world domination. But in order for that to happen, you need to join the army of Z. So, you need to subscribe, like the video, and share it out as far and wide as possible across the interwebs, because that is the only way we're going to get more people in here. And of course, the more people we get, the more fun things we can do. Because I totally forgot one of the things I did this week and did not bring it up. Anyway, so we started this week off talking about RuinScape. I know we hadn't really touched on it a whole lot, and I primarily do one video a day, right? Unless something happens. For instance, this week, Monday, work was just too overbearing. I did not get around to doing a video. I apologize. So as a result, we had one less video than normal. It happens sometimes. But if you're interested in updates of when something like that is going to happen, you should follow me on Twitter at ZOTGT. That's Twitter at ZOTGT. And this way you can stay up to date, because I may not actually get to a computer or anything to properly throw a comment in the discussion section, because I can't actually technically do it from my phone without using the browser, and I'm not going to do that because it's too much of a pain. Yeah, sorry. Not happening. But I will tweet it out if something does happen and a video does not go up, so you're not wondering, is there a video today? That is the best way to keep up to date with what I'm doing, especially if I plan to live stream, because we did that this week. Sometime this week we did do a test stream. We played a little bit of World of Warcraft, did some BGs, finishing up Children's Week. But yeah, at the beginning of the week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we had a two-parter episode talking about Jagex moderation staff for RuinScape, security flaws, among other things. Mods being demod, or PMods being demod, and so on and so forth. How, Jagex employees or moderators pretty much, stole 45 billion coins and things. And, just the utter lack of due diligence by RuinScape and Jagex itself. They sit there talking about this story. They pretty much were like, this player had been yelling about this for months, right? And other players were also talking about it for months, and they were being ignored. And then during a routine security check that apparently happens once every 6 months, considering they were ignoring these people for months, finally flagged something in a system somewhere, and they did some investigating, figured out what was going on. Yeah, Jagex, again, I don't know how many times I gotta say this, fix your shit. Seriously, your moderation staff needs a major overhaul. They need some kind of rules in place on how they handle things. You need to add to them or something. And to be totally honest, get rid of PMods. That's asinine. You don't need those. Yeah, seriously. Anyway, we talked about that, and then we talked about a very big public or very big security exploit using the login to RuinScape. And of course, everything is down in the comments, or in the description down below if you want to follow up on anything or look at everything in depth, because on Sunday these are just quick overhauls or quick overviews of what we talked about, right? So it's down to the nitty-gritty, just boom, 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 this is what we did, and occasionally we expand upon it and talk more on certain updates and things, right? So, you know, we did talk about this exploit using the login screen that could be set up, and, you know, somebody could easily try logging in using it and have your computer essentially just, you know, you wind up giving them a lot of information you'd rather not give them. And, yeah, so that's a big thing, and it's apparently, you know, an exploit that should have been found a long time ago and fixed, considering the software used to actually find said exploit in the first place is something that's available for most people to go use for, you know, if they go buy it or whatever, because I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head, you know, to look at things like this and stuff. But beyond that, we talked a little bit more about Sony's Naughty Dog, and the special message that Neil Druckmann had for us, you know, the players, the community and stuff. And I figured we'd take a quick look at that number real quick. Here's the number. We're now at 98K downvotes. And of course, everything else that they've uploaded is pretty much have been, you know, it's got no like ratio or dislike ratio, no comments. Everything's turned off because, you know, Neil Druckmann and the team and Naughty Dog and Sony are stunning and brave and beautiful and all that good jazz, because, you know, they take the criticism, they take it to heart. And then later this week we talk about somebody who takes criticism and takes it really damn well and actually produces a decent message. But anyway, we talked about The Last of Us finally going gold, where they've gone ahead and sent it out there for distribution and get it ready onto the disc and everything, you know, and the digital distribution, get everything ready to go among with that. And we talked about DMCAs that were being lifted from certain key creators out there, like Az from Hill versus Babyface. But at the same time, some more DMCAs did come down. A few creators got a second DMCA from Muso Entertainment, and Applebend also got a DMCA from Muso as well. So they're still out there doing it, even though they're getting them fought and you know, what's the word, the rejection of the DMCAs appealed. Anyway, you know, even though that's going on, Muso's still running out there, going around doing stuff. And you know, apparently it has come out that they've admitted to in emails with certain correspondents that they're just essentially claiming anything and everything, just like we thought they were. You know, as people have speculated, because, you know, that's what they've been told to do. What they don't seem to really understand for some reason, I guess because it's never been an issue until now, is if these things stay put and people decide to start suing you, it's not Sony on the hook. Muso, listen to me very clearly, even though you're never going to hear this. You're the one who's on the hook. That's why Sony uses you. That's why they're your client. So if you're wondering how that goes, Naughty Dog is owned by Sony, right? And then Sony is a client of Muso, who runs around and enforces their copyright. And when Sony says, hey, I need you to do this, Muso goes and does it because that's their job. That's cool and all. However, when it comes up and it's you doing the thing, people are going to come after you because you're the one who's liable for it. And you can sit there and say, well, Sony made me. But that's a separate lawsuit, I think. If I understand correctly, that would be a separate lawsuit in itself, where Muso then has to sell or sue Sony or Naughty Dog or whoever it was who was pushing the orders out there. Or, you know, they sue Sony and then Sony sues Naughty Dog for their screw up or whatever, or lets them go because technically, I guess Sony owns Naughty Dog, so they can't really have to sue them. Anyway, but yeah, Muso would then have to sue, I guess, Sony for damages because they did things on their behalf. And, you know, as long as they can prove that they were told, you will be doing this, you know, maybe they have a case. I don't know. I've never seen a case like that before. So I'm not sure what the outcome, even projected outcome. You would have to ask somebody who's more knowledgeable of law, like say Nick Rekieta or Leonard French or one of those other lawyers out there who does the YouTubes and such, and ask them how exactly that would work. That's my thoughts though on it, how it would work. You know, the content creator sue Muso, then Muso sues Sony, kind of deal. But anyway, that's the thing. We then talked about Cyberpunk 2077 and their 18 plus rating, and you know, Dev saying we don't F around, and customizable genitals, because that was the topic of the day. Everybody was up in arms about it, or loving it, or something like that. Of course, you know, the media is going to push that as like this amazing thing when it's really not. It's kind of been around slightly already, although, you know, looking at the customization screen, the Cyberpunk 2077 customization screen does give you way more than I think I've ever really seen one game give, and that's overall a good thing. Regardless of how you want to classify it as get woke go broke, which it's not. I'll just stop you right now. That's far from it. A lot of people are going to still buy this game. It is going to do phenomenally, even if they've given you the ability to have 3 Ds or something that are massive, or however it is they've decided to set that up. But you know, more choice, way better. We talked about more in depth in the rating, why it's got its rating, the stuff that they are, you know, pretty much throwing out there, like, this is what we've done. You know, we put a lot of work into this. So it looks good. It looks great so far. I don't think I'm going to be too disappointed, even if it's not as long as The Witcher, which I thought it was going to be when they first were talking about it at one point, that it was going to be that long, but now it's not. So yeah, that was a little disappointing, but that's fine, because I'm still in the middle of playing The Witcher. So, you know, technically I'm not done with it. So if it's that long, it might take me a while to finish Cyberpunk 2077 too, whenever I get it. But then we looked at this here. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to talk about it at all. It is the first look at the Xbox Series X gameplay. It was a trailer that they released, about 30 minutes long, and they kind of did one massive problem with this trailer, or this thing, because they were supposed to be having gameplay, trailers, and, you know, talks about feature or things in the games and stuff, and they kind of do. They give us trailers and they talk about it, but, you know, for a thing that is titled first look at Xbox Series X gameplay, right, and you've got this, not even, how many minutes is into it, is it like, this is 10 seconds or so into the video, 16 seconds into the video, first look at Xbox Series X gameplay, and then follow it up with 30 minutes of no gameplay. That's an issue. That's an issue with the industry at large. You know, I don't mind looking at, you know, the concepts and things like that, and trailers and things. Just say it. That's what it is. We've got Xbox Series game trailers or something. Gameplay may not be included. Something like that, you know. So everyone doesn't get their hopes up looking for gameplay that's not gameplay, and they did a pretty good job at masking some of the stuff to make it look like gameplay, while also having the transparent text at the bottom saying, hey, by the way, this is not gameplay. So, you know, a lot of people did get fooled by it. We talked about that, and we talked about that tweet where they took the criticism and was pretty much like, yeah, we screwed up there. We should not have said that it was going to be gameplay. I mean, everywhere you look on this, it screams gameplay ahead, and then there was no gameplay whatsoever. And they were like, yeah, we'll learn from this. We're sorry. Sorry about that. We messed up. You know, we'll listen to people, and we'll be more, we'll set things up more accurately next time. We just had an issue there, which is fine. That's totally fine. You know, and I had to commend them for that, because, you know, after we've been dealing with Naughty Dog for at least 2 weeks at this point, you know, it's definitely a breath of fresh air when a developer or a CEO or whoever of one of these companies come out and is like, look, you know, we messed up. We're sorry. We're going to do better next time. You know, it's just little things like that that are really nice, you know? It doesn't happen often, but when it does, we need to actually come out and talk about it and say, look, you know, that's great. We're looking forward to seeing more, and looking at the trailers, essentially, there's a lot of good things that look like they're going to come out on the Xbox Series X, although I'm sure they'll have PC releases too, so that's where I will get my games from. Steam. But anyway, I guess that's where we're going to end it for today. Next week, Monday, we have a special video coming out. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but there's something you should look into Monday, because I won't be alone. I will have a partner in crime on this channel. That's right, somebody somewhere has decided that they were going to come over here and talk to me about stuff, and that was kind of cool. So, don't miss that. That's Monday. It's still rendering, by the way. I think I set it up for rendering about an hour and a half ago, and it's still rendering. It's a decently long video. It's about a good 40-some minutes long of your time, so if you want to put it off to the back and listen to it while you're at work or something, that'd be fantastic. Anyway, that's going to be it for this week, and you know what? I got nothing else to say, so I will talk to you later. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.